Hello, everybody. This is Maniac for Bricks, and I'm back with another Brickfilm table read of a script that actually didn't get finished. I didn't finish writing the whole script, and even though the concept, is still there and still sounds kind of interesting as again another original comedy sketch, it's it's a bit rough of what's written in here. I think a lot of it would have to be changed if I ever did make it as a real thing, and it's ironic in how it was written. I don't know if this is a sentiment of how I felt about Chima at the time, even though I did own Legends of Chima sets, but I don't know. Something about this was interesting to look back on. It was the kind of thing that when looking through files, I was like, the after years, I can't believe, like, it rang a bell to me that it existed, but let's see how this actually turned out. So, this was made as early as March 11th, 2014, and it seems like, based on this format in the email, not only was it like, oh, I wrote it on an iPod Touch and it got backed up to email, but it might have actually been sent to one or two people. I don't remember who it was sent to, and if it actually did anything from it. Because I think, yeah, both of these emails go back to me. They don't show anyone else's address to them, so I don't even know if it made it that far, or if it didn't go to an email at all, or if it was like DM on Twitter or Instagram or something else. I don't know. Um, so it says, "Hey guys, I just thought of a great original idea for brick filming, Chima: The After Years. I'm inviting you both to be part of the project. I need more background on each Chima character, but here's what I brought on the original. Brought I guess it was a typo. Brought for the original, brought for the animation so far." And I'm just going to read the lower half of it because it's a little more spaced out and um, a little more detail to it. So the setting is a diner, and first character in here, Legravis, or another important Chima character. This whole part seems like narration, but seems like an exposition dump that's only really benefiting the reader or viewer. I read through this briefly before the video started, and I'm like, this isn't talking to anyone really in universe. They already know this. Maybe the last line or two is about it, but this is more of just the benefit of the audience. It's survival of the fittest. It's a tough world out there to make ends meet. The Chima Wars have driven our nations into heavy financial debt, so much so that we no longer exist as a theme. Now we live among the other minifigures of city and past themes. As anthropomorphic figures, we are not always treated with kindness amongst the minifigure world. Some of us can't hold a steady job due to our animal nature. What do we do now? That's basically the concept. And the ironic part about this is that I wrote this in 2014, and Chima was canceled officially, discontinued, in 2015. I don't know if this means at the time that I was not a fan of Chima, or that I didn't expect it to last long, or just wanted to have fun with the concept that, yeah, eventually it's going to cancel. So what do you do with the Chima, iconography? What do you do with all the stuff that remains? I honestly don't know. And basically, my sentiments on Chima nowadays are it was fine. It ran for a good amount of time. It did feel a little odd at places. And sure, there was a lot of stigma against it from the real world because of how it resembled Thundercats, but wasn't Thundercats. How it was, too abnormal of a Lego theme with so many animal minifigures as characters. But then again, it's not the first time they've done it, and it's not the last time that they've done it. So, a lot of that sentiment, I guess, was at play with making this script. Um, I was okay with it, but I did think it was a little expensive at times because I mostly bought the Speedors and the Polybags and maybe a few of the smaller sets because a lot of them were pretty expensive at the time. Nowadays, I've actually grown to enjoy Chima, and I actually do Wish I had some of those other sets because they did look really cool and seemed like they were worth the money. Having now looked at it again through fresh eyes, and I've also seen other people really enjoy it. I've actually seen some of the models in person a few times and think they look way better than what I first thought about them. So I have no hate for Chima. I'm not in love with it, but I don't hate it either. And I've only watched a little bit of the animations. I've only watched a little bit of the TV show back in the day, so I didn't have a lot of the background for the characters. Um, I've only seen maybe a few of the episodes up to now, and I have one or two DVDs based on it. But I don't know if they were season DVDs or volume, which are not always in order. So there's that. That's just on my background of Chima to thoroughly explain, like, okay, where am I going with this, and is this actually because I hated it, making this animation, or the script didn't make the animation for real. Didn't even make the script real. This is very rough. So characters: a raven as a diner waiter or waitress. I just thought it would be a funny idea to have one of them while they're in the diner, like reunited in a way. That one of them is working at the diner and just having them in the outfit with it. And I thought would be funny. Krug getting a lower jaw surgery with break jaw from agents. So I don't know if this was like a, oh, it's coming up kind of thing. For context, Krug from the crocodile tribe has a metal jaw on his headpiece. So I guess that's what I thought of was break jaw from agents, because he also has like a metallic jaw on him. So maybe that was the joke there, was like, oh, they share that in common and they're gonna get those restructured or whatever. Raven flies in the restaurant, feathers get in people's food. Chima characters ponder at different tables for what jobs they could do. So that's kind of leaning into the animalistic nature. It's either that they're uh that they just get, being caught up in war for so long, and because of their animal roots, that they disrupt the normal lifestyle of minifigures as if they were humans. Kind of playing into that element of it. Ravens look the same as a racist, not racist generalization remark. I don't even know why I wrote that. It's poor choice of words. And I get what I 7 years ago was going for, because back then, a lot of for the tribes that were available at that point in Chima, I could recognize each of them like by characters, pretty easily. They're distinct enough in how they look, whether it's the outfits themselves or the colors or anything like that. The ravens all look the same to me. So I thought I'd implement that into the script here, where they're treated as almost the same, or that there's confusion of who's who, because they literally have no distinct differences between them. Every once in a while, you'll find one that has a peg leg or a hook for a hand, but back then I had thought, oh, it's just, they have the same shape to them, they have the same color scheme. They have black with some purple and maybe something else if you're lucky, anything like that. This is not based on like a real world, kind of remark. That's not the intention of it. It's more of like the minifigures, I can't tell them apart kind of thing. If this ever furthered, I probably would have to change that drastically and just say, that one person names a raven but as the wrong name, where it's like, say that there's Bill and Jeff and they're both ravens and they look very similar. So someone calls for Bill when they mean to call for Jeff, that kind of thing. It's a weird part of this, and again, that's maybe one reason why I'm glad I didn't go through the animation, or I would have had to really, change that up. Longtooth and another lion look like twins at an interview, so again, it's kind of playing on they almost look the same, one being mistaken as the other kind of thing. I think Longtooth did look very similar to one of the other ones. I forget which one, but in nowadays I look at them and I'm like, yeah, there's still enough that you can tell them apart. Legravis or character naming or character narrating the intro used again. Well, it seems like in the long run, the chi that created our human like stance backfired for all of us. Perhaps it would be better if we went back into the wild. That is, if the legend beasts accepted us as animals and not as bipedal freaks. I don't know. I don't again this concept, it sounds interesting at first, but the way I'm trying to illustrate it doesn't really sound good. um I don't even want to call it dated, but I just think it's not refined, you know. I didn't really it's more of like I brainstormed these things but didn't revise them that much. Even in this one, it's just like there are literally two emails connected to this, and even at that, not much has changed between them. Um, so, if I understand correctly, the Legend Beasts do get along with Chima characters in story, in canon. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that they do because they do partner up at one point, and clearly I had seen that. But you know, it's like this is very mean spirited. It's very like not just awful actually on the mood and presentation of it. I think there's merit to trying to make Chima characters fit within a larger Lego world, and honestly that could even play into other Lego themes that have animalistic characters. I mean, you have Monkey Kid nowadays. I'm literally staring at the Monkey King on the side of the screen and I'm like, yeah, they could get along and they'd still be able to understand each other. But then again, the Monkey King universe and or Monkey Kid universe with Monkey King in it, they accept all those kinds of creatures. You know, it's not weird that there's, someone like Pigsy running a food restaurant, or even having demons or whatever's. They still mingle well compared to what I came up with this for this animation. So again, it sounds like it could be funny, but it would take a lot of work in order to do so. I think I had an earlier idea of one of the Chima characters being a mascot for either a restaurant or an attraction or something like that, where they're basically hired because they don't need a costume; they already got the costume, and just because they are the animal that the place presents, something like that. Or maybe they'll do something stage wise, in theater, that much the same way. Oh, we need this kind of animal character, and you're the animal character because that's how you live. That I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm not entirely sure about this one. Again, yeah, I'm a little back and forth on if it's a good concept. But again, the way I'm describing most of this from that email from long ago, from 7 years ago, would need a lot of work. It's not the kind of thing that I would think right away to, like if I want to bring back any of these, I don't think that would be the first one in line. And it also feels weird because there was stigma against the theme by itself in real world, in real time. Um, I don't know if I really shared any of that sentiment or I was just trying to make something more funny out of it. Um, Again, I do have more respect for Chima nowadays as a Lego theme, and there are a lot of really good concepts in there. Um, so there's that. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll talk to y'all later.